Hello everyone. My name is Monica Formosa and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the Bargara area of Queensland, Australia. Today I am sharing with you a card that I've created for a monthly challenge run by the amazing Carly Bertucci. And it's all about thank yous. So this is the card that I created. It's very similar to the one that I created for the Christmas Stamp-a-thon a couple of weeks ago, which was a square version with a circle in the center. And in that video, I did mention that you could easily recreate it for, sorry, I'm just putting things away here. You could easily create it as a regular card size. So that's what I've done here. And to change things up a bit, I've decided that I would stamp on soft seafoam. Now, I have to say that, yes, this is quite a product-heavy way of creating, but, you know, I'm sure we've all got lots of stamp sets with different styles of foliage, so grab those out. It's well worth the effort of doing that. You do need different styles. As you can see, you know, more a ferny, liney kind of image, or more of a filled-in image. There's Forever Fern images there. So I'll just go through the stamps that I've used. Christmas season, I've gone and used this one in my background. Forever Fern. I've used this image here, as well as I think it's this one here, and I've also used the dottage that's there. Framed Occasion, I've used my two favorite stamps from here, which is this guy here and this kind of eucalyptus-y image. Simply Fabulous, this little trio of foliage here, which is my favorite out of this set. And for my sentiment, I've grabbed Good Feelings and used the thank you, which fits absolutely wonderfully in that oval. Inks, lots of inks, lots of greens. If you're a green fan, this will be up your alley. Soft Seafoam, Pear Pizzazz, Parakeet Party, Garden Green, Shaded Spruce, Soft Succulent, and Evening Evergreen. So that's all the colors that we're using, all those greens. So what do we need for this card? You will need the framed florets dies. I've used the oval, this oval here, which cuts out this guy here, as well as in my little stash over on my right hand side. So it cuts out that oval and this lovely frame, as well as this guy here that you could use as a negative on the front of a card if you were to think ahead of time, unlike me, and die cut it a little bit straight. So that's with that. Now these dies also come with other elements that you can use, outlined, like a framelit that you can use to actually stamp, die cut out the images, the stamped images, and there's standalone dies there as well that you can use as elements on your card. I did think about doing that, but I kind of thought that there was enough going on there. All right, okay, cardstock. You will need a soft seafoam card base. This has been cut to my particular size. I have a custom size that I use, but that's okay. You can cut whatever, do what, you know, create a card base to whatever measurements you like to use. You need a topper for your stamping, also in soft sea foam. And as you can see, it's just been trimmed down to just slightly less than your card front. Okay, so you know that might be 1/8 of an inch or 1/2 centimeter or something, depending on what measurements you use. You'll also need a basic white card inner that's also been trimmed down. I think that's just trimmed down to a little bit smaller again. And you'll need a piece of basic white scrap for the oval die cut. Okay, so that's what we will need there. Because we're using photopolymer stamps, I've grabbed my piercing mat and I've just covered mine to try and keep it a little bit cleaner. I've also got a piece of scrap that I will do my blending on, and a blending brush, because I've actually blended the edges of my piece of basic white there, and I've also blended the edges on the inside basic white piece that we can glue on the inside. It's very hard to see, but it's there, and that's kind of all I wanted, was something just a little bit subtle, just to bring those colors into the inside of my card. Right, so to begin with, I'm going to get my soft sea foam topper, and because we're stamping a little bit, oh, I almost forgot. Everything fancy sequins, for everything fancy sequins is what I've used on the top, just to add a little bit of bling in the green. So this comes in a set of 3. There's a blue, there's a pink, and then the green tones. And I've grabbed the green and we'll use them on the card front. So I think that's everything. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is you've got your card topper, and to just help me stamp in the right spot, I'm going to get my die, and I'm actually going to, is this a light? Very, very lightly draw my oval. And that is just a guide for my stamping. There's a good chance you're not going to see it once you've finished, and if you do see it, well, just get an eraser and rub it out. All right, so there's my oval. It's not quite in the middle, but that's okay. And to begin with, I like to use my lightest ink, and I like to get like a larger image. So we're going to ink up, and you don't need to ink up all of it. You don't need the stem. And we're going to just first and second generation. You're not going to see that second generation too much because it's very light. We'll go 1, and we'll go 2, and we'll go 1. The second generation stamping is there just to add a little bit of color into that, onto your background. Okay, so that's your soft sea foam, and that's your lightest color. Now for my next color, I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz. And I think what I'll do is, where's my Forever Fern? And I'm going to get this guy here. He's another large stamp. So I tend to go from my larger stamps down to my smaller ones. And he's mounted on a block. And again, first and second generation, because it's nice to have that background happening. Don't be afraid to go over what you've already stamped. I won't go second generation there. And I'll just move him in 1, 2. Okay, so that's your next layer. Let me think, what did I do next? Oh, I think I'm missing, no, on my other card. What did I do? I think I also used this guy, by the looks of that. No, hang on, let me find my card. No, I didn't. I'm all confused because I'm looking at 2 cards here. That's not the card I'm looking at. All right, so this is the next. I've done my Pear Pizzazz, and I've done that other one, that first one that's in the background. So he can go away. The next one I looked at was using Parakeet Party with this smaller one from Forever Fern. Now this is going to be nice and bright. It'll add a little bit of zing to what's happening, which will be fun. All right, again, first and second generation. That's your Parakeet Party. Garden Green will come next. We're going darker and darker, and we'll use this guy out of Framed Occasions. And again, we're just going around and filling all those gaps. Going over in areas, we can go over what we've already stamped, because that will then push those images into the background. And I kind of feel like I need to put another one down here maybe. I've got a pair of willy wagtails outside my window, and they are so cute, but they make such a big noise. Okay. Shaded Spruce. And I'm going to use this lovely little trio from, what is it, Simply Fabulous? That's the one. And I'm going to add these right in close. You can add quite a few of these. Kind of feel like I need one up here to fill in that gap. There's a bit of a gap happening there. So I'll add another one full strength in there, first generation. Okay, the next stamp I'm going to grab is the eucalyptus. Is it a eucalyptus-y stamp image from Framed Occasions? And we're going to just add a little bit of architecture. To the stamping now. Okay. And the neighbour's decided he wants to ride his motorbike. That's okay, I won't cross my arm in front of the camera. That's a bit rude. All right, so there we're starting to get our oval. And the last but not least is a little bit of dottage. So you can kind of see, like there's a plain one without dottage, and then there's the one that I created earlier, and I just love the look. A really dear friend of me commented once that stamping without dottage is stamping without joy, and I thought, you know what, I kind of like that. I think that's very appropriate. So I'm going to use my Evening Evergreen for my dottage, and the dottage is now like a fill-in. It fills in any areas you've got, adds a little bit of texture. Don't forget, when you're adding dottage, to spin your stamp around. Don't stamp it in the same direction, because the brain doesn't like seeing patterns, repetitive patterns. So and I think that's probably enough there. All right, so that's our stamping on the front done. I went ahead and stamped and die cut my sentiment on the front, and what we're going to do here is get our soft seafoam ink, and I will move that, and my blending brush, and I'm just going to add a little bit of soft seafoam to my edges. Gently does it. There we go. Leaving the center, you don't want to go in too far, and leaving that center white, and then very gently get your oval and just run it, the edge, across your ink pad, rolling it across your ink pad. You don't need a lot, you're just going really lightly, and that just defines that edge a little bit better. Get your dimensionals, and we'll add a few dimensionals. Oops. I usually add a lot because I don't like things to sag in the middle, especially if you're posting. I'll just take the backs off. Now I have pre-recorded this video, so if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will get back to you. Now I've added a little bit of glue to the back of my dimensionals. I like to do that little trick. There's a tip for you, and that just allows you to it gives you wriggle time to get it where you need it to be without it sticking, because dimensionals, once you stick your dimensionals down, it's quite difficult to get them up. Oh, I've just smudged that. Oh, dang it. Sorry guys, I had ink on my hand and I've just gone and smudged that, but that's okay. I'll fix that later. Let me see if I can just wipe my hand before I get that anywhere else. Ugh. Okay. Now, while I've got my blending brush here, what I'm going to do is also blend the edges of my inner. Again, we'll use soft sea foam and very, very gently add a little bit of color to the edges. You can go in a little bit further this time because your area is a little bit larger, but certainly don't go right into the center because it's just a little bit of a tint of color on the edges. Okay. Okay. Happy with that. And again, I'm going to get my evening evergreen rather, and I'm going to get the edges and just dab them in, and that just brings that design element from the outside into the inside. Okay, might just do that corner. There we go. Right. Okay, I will let that dry. We will grab our card base, and once again I'm going to use some dimensionals on the back. If you have, rather than dimensionals, if you've got the adhesive foam, that would be another great option to use rather than individual dimensionals. I need to learn that trick they do using take a pick tool. I've seen them, they're just able to flick the backings off the dimensionals really well. Need to practice that. And again, I'm going to add a little bit of glue to my dimensionals just to give me a little bit of wriggle time. I don't have a lot of room here to get it in the right spot because it's such a fine border. All right, which way am I opening? And my preference is for a top fold card. Oh gosh, this is really hard to see with the camera. I don't know whether that's not quite where it needs to be. Is that going to come off? All right. Okay, I don't think, oh no, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, now our inner will probably be right to go. Now, if you wanted to, you could easily stamp a few leaf images in the bottom. Let's do that, hey? Just something to, I'll show you the difference. So going back, soft sea foam, and I will use the same ink with the same images that I used earlier, and I've got ink all over that. I don't know where I'm getting all this ink from. All right, and I need my mat because we're using photopolymer. Bring my mat in, and we'll just go down like that. That was used with Pizzazz. No, Parakeet. I won't put Parakeet in the middle. A little bit of Pear Pizzazz. That didn't stamp quite right. And then what I might do is a little bit of soft succulent. Guys, I've got ink pads and I've got stamps all over the place in front of me. Let's see if I can get this guy. Let's just go again. There we go. And to hide that little boo-boo, let's get some dottage. So we'll do there. Okay, that's all our stamping. We will flip that, and oh, you know what I've done? I've just done that on the wrong side. Goose. All right, let's do that again. Because that's my inked up side. No, what's Pizzazz? All right. And no, sorry, soft sea foam. A little bit of Pear Pizzazz. And a little bit of soft succulent. I'll just pull that stamping up. And I have got ink on that corner, which is quite dangerous. I'm going to stamp off. There we go. And my dottage. I'll stamp off, put this guy up here. There. Okay. All right, you always get your money's worth out of Evening Evergreen, I reckon, because you can get, like you just saw, I got four generations out of that. A little bit of liquid glue, and we will put that into the center like so. All right, so there's the stamped one, and then you've got a plain one. And yes, I do like the stamping in the corner. Just finishes it off just that little bit better. All right, a little bit of gems. I like to just pour, oh, maybe not that many, but pour a few into, get your take a pick tool, the putty end, and add a few different ones. I think there's a pearly one there. Let's put a pearly one in. These sequins are amazing. Like you get such a big variety of different shapes, different sizes, and it's absolutely amazing. All right. Oops, where are we? Come on. There. Another pearl maybe. And do I add him up there? I think I might add him up there with another pearl. Another pearl here. Oh, it's a double pearl. Okay. Pull this one down a little bit more, I think. Like that. Okay, so get your Tombow, or if you're happy to use a glue dot, you can use a glue dot. And I will take off my end here. It just screws out. And it's times like these, I wish I was an octopus with opposable thumbs, because that would be so handy. All right, and I'm just going to stay. Not much you can do without opposable thumbs, really. But having the end of my tool must be a little bit sticky. Right, almost done, guys. Oh, that's gone all over the place. Kinda. Yeah, let's go up a bit more. And I think that's gone upside down, but that's okay. It'll still stick. All right, I'm just gonna let that, oh, come on. It's sticking to the putty big time. Come on. There we go. There we go. I'm just gonna let that sit there while that glue dries off and sets. Okay, I will go through everything again for you, just in case you missed anything. Okay. All right. What do we got? Stamp sets, 5 stamp sets in total. Clear a spot. Christmas season, we used this guy here. Forever Fern was the next one I grabbed. This fellow here, and I think it was this one. Maybe this one. Anyway, either or, it doesn't really matter. Just something in a different style. Well, it's not the different style, but it's a different size. Okay, what came next? Possibly, oh, yep. Sorry, this was stamped in soft sea foam. I'll go through the colors. Soft sea foam in the background. Pear Pizzazz was the next guy. Parakeet Party, just for a little bit of a zing. Brings a bit of cheer and happiness to the card. And this guy was done in Garden Green. Garden Green. He was next. And then I stamped this little trio of leaves here in shaded Spruce. And then I went back and stamped this guy in soft Succulent. My sentiment has been stamped in Evening Evergreen again. The edges have been blended in soft sea foam, and then the edge of the oval was then run across my Evening Evergreen very, very gently. You don't need to press hard because you will damage your stamp pads. Okay, so stamp sets, inks. Oh my word, so many inks. Soft sea foam, Pear Pizzazz. I'll get my tongue in it, saying the right words. Garden Green, shaded Spruce, soft Succulent, Evening Evergreen. The card base is soft sea foam. The greeting sentiment was stamped in Evening Evergreen on basic white, and the inside was again basic white on the inside, just to finish it off, just to bring that pattern, and stamped using the same colors and the same images that I used on the front. I've used the same again in the inside. Okay, so that's my card. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for joining me. If you like what you see and would like to come back and watch me again, I would really love for you to subscribe to my channel and maybe even give me a thumbs up. It just helps me and supports my little business. So yeah, that's it, and I hope you've enjoyed that, and we will see you again soon, I hope. Bye for now.